Educators and historians alike often overlook the Colfax Massacre, a very bloody yet crucial event that transpired during the Reconstruction. The massacre set possibly one of the most critical judicial precedents of the century in U.S. versus Cruikshank, a decision that would come to be regarded by many as one of the worst Supreme Court decisions in American history. After the Civil War, the commencement of Reconstruction signified both new beginnings and new opportunities for African Americans in the South. Southern Democrats, particularly farm owners, felt betrayed and knew not what to do with their land and plantations without a workforce to tend to their needs. With the passage of the 14th and 15th Amendments, the future looked bright for blacks who wanted to have their voices heard and even the opportunity to participate in voting and politics, which further infuriated Southern whites. On April 13th, 1873, exercising their new First Amendment right to freely assemble as citizens of the U.S., a large group of black Republican freedmen gathered in a courthouse in Colfax, Louisiana. An armed group of about 300 white Democrats from the paramilitary group the White League descended on the courthouse and killed anywhere from 80 to 150 of the freedmen. Of the freedmen killed, about half were murdered in cold blood. Historian Eric Fauner deems it the bloodiest single act of carnage in all of Reconstruction. After such a gory affair, it seems that the men of the White League should have been easily convicted in a court of law. However, of all 300 men, only 9 were brought to trial, and all were acquitted. Furthermore, in U.S. versus Cruikshank, the Supreme Court ruled that the federal government had no power to protect the newly freed slaves from simple murder, and that the Due Process and Equal Protection Clauses only applied to state action, and not the action of individuals. It stated specifically, the 14th Amendment prohibits a state from depriving any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, but this adds nothing to the rights of one citizen against another. Because freedmen were no longer protected by the Constitution, they were left to the mercy of racist state governments. Because of U.S. versus Cruikshank, the Equal Protection Clause of the Constitution was essentially null and void. The KKK was allowed to use violence and fear tactics to suppress black voters, or those they thought were out of line. As whites dominated Southern legislatures, they simply turned a blind eye to the violence against blacks, refusing to acknowledge racial hate crimes or persecute those who committed them. The federal government was left powerless to intervene or protect black citizens. Perhaps worst of all, U.S. v. Cruikshank set a grisly precedent and is still being cited in the present day to block gun control laws, civil rights cases, and most recently, the Violence Against Women Act.
What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over.
My great-grandmother was in the band of Black Kettle when they were attacked. There was one little child that was walking up the creek bed, and there was a soldier there that was using the little boy to start at practice. He took one shot, aimed, and missed him. A second came along, tried and missed him, and a third said, "Let me kill the little devil." The little boy dropped dead. You had pregnant women whose bodies were being cut open, and the fetuses being taken from them. The private body parts of men and women were cut from them, and some of them used as saddle horns, hat bands, tobacco pouches, and put on public display in Denver City, in such a way that you would begin to ask, who is savage in this case? It certainly was not the Cheyenne.
Three mass shootings far worse than Vegas the government wants you to forget because they were involved. The Las Vegas shooting has been called the deadliest shooting in U.S. history, but there are several mass shootings from the past that have killed many more. By Rachel Blevins, October 5, 2017. As the death toll continued to rise from the Las Vegas shooting, media outlets were quick to call it the deadliest shooting in U.S. history. However, that title was soon changed to the deadliest shooting in modern U.S. history, as tales of past mass shootings on American soil were unearthed. Here are three mass shootings in the United States with death tolls surpassing the Las Vegas shooting. Sand Creek Massacre, November 29, 1864. A horrific scene unfolded in Colorado in 1864, when a bloodthirsty army of U.S. cavalry members slaughtered over 500 peaceful Native Americans living in a village at Sand Creek. The Cheyenne and Arapaho tribes were living on land that was rightfully theirs, as was acknowledged by a treaty with the U.S. government. While Cheyenne Chief Black Kettle was known to be a peacemaker, Colonel John Chivington was looking for an easy military conquest, and he initiated the massacre by leading an army of 700 men on a night raid. Advertisement. Governor Evans was intent on the chastisement of all the region's Indians, and he had a willing cudgel in Chivington, who hoped further military glory would vault him into Congress. For months, his new regiment had seen no action and become mockingly known as the Bloodless Third. Then, shortly before the unit's 100-day enlistment ran out, Chivington led about 700 men on a night ride to Sand Creek. At daylight this morning attacked Cheyenne village of 130 lodges, from 900 to 1,000 warriors strong, Chivington wrote his superior late on November 29. His men, he said, waged a furious battle against well-armed and entrenched foes, ending in a great victory, the deaths of several chiefs, between 400 and 500 other Indians, and almost an annihilation of the entire tribe. The soldiers involved were initially praised for their murderous actions, but after the circumstances of the massacre came to light, Chivington resigned from the military. Chief Black Kettle miraculously survived the slaughter and continued his efforts to push for peace. Read more. Damning video from Mandalay Bay appears to confirm multiple shooters. Colfax Massacre, April 13, 1873. On Easter Sunday in 1873, racial tensions reached a breaking point in Colfax, Louisiana, and at least 150 African Americans were murdered after multiple white supremacist groups created a militia and attacked the courthouse building. In a county that was almost equally split by race, both the Republicans, mostly African Americans, and the Democrats, mostly white Americans, contested the results of the 1872 election, and refused to recognize either side's candidate as legitimate. After the Republicans guarded the courthouse, the white militia arrived with a cannon and took hundreds of the black soldiers as prisoners. The group, No Louisiana, described the gruesome circumstances surrounding the massacre. Late in the evening, white participants began to dispute the wisdom of releasing their black prisoners, as members of families drew close to the courthouse site. Led by the sons of James Hadnot, a group of militants proceeded to execute their captives. Members of the prisoners' families served as eyewitnesses to the killings, most of which were shots to the head. While the U.S. Attorney in New Orleans attempted to prepare an indictment to hold the organizers accountable for their actions, Federal Circuit Court and Supreme Court rulings threw out the convictions, and no one was ever held responsible for the Colfax Massacre. Wounded Knee Massacre, December 29, 1890. As many as 300 Native Americans were shot and killed in late 1890, the majority of whom were women and children, after the United States military's 7th Cavalry Regiment surrounded a camp of the Lakota tribe along South Dakota's Wounded Knee Creek. Read more. Police source: Vegas shooter tried to get room over outdoor rap concert a week prior. Soldiers moved in on the camp and demanded that the Native Americans surrender their weapons. While there are differing accounts of how gunfire broke out, the fact is that when U.S. troops started shooting, they did not stop, and they did not let the presence of innocent, unarmed women and children stand in their way. One Sioux tribe member, named American Horse, recalled the horrific details of the massacre during a Commission of Indian Affairs in Washington, in February 1891. There was a woman with an infant in her arms who was killed as she almost touched the flag of truce, and the women and children of course were strewn all along the circular village until they were dispatched. Right near the flag of truce a mother was shot down with her infant, the child, not knowing that its mother was dead, was still nursing, and that especially was a very sad sight. The women as they were fleeing with their babes were killed together, shot right through, and the women who were very heavy with child were also killed. All the Indians fled in these three directions, and after most all of them had been killed, a cry was made that all those who were not killed wounded should come forth and they would be safe. Little boys who were not wounded came out of their places of refuge, and as soon as they came in sight a number of soldiers surrounded them and butchered them there. Not only did the U.S. government not punish the soldiers responsible for the slaughter, the U.S. Army awarded 20 medals of honor to members of its 7th Cavalry. Read more. ISIS claims responsibility for Vegas. Police were on alert after video called for the attack in May. U.S. history textbooks tell the tale of the war between the power-hungry U.S. government and the indigenous tribes who sought to protect their land, but the Wounded Knee Massacre is especially significant because it serves as a reminder of how insignificant Native American lives were in the eyes of the United States.
Need a car? Don't forget to stop by carmarshal.com, where you can scout through over 100,000 new and used car vehicles. Take a look around. Get you a new affordable car. carmarshal.com.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but They cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts, 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So, yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, what we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself. 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, now we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So if you can give more than that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not. They're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that, that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now, where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran on, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran on no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it. But it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know that $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.